Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd go ahead and do a Friday Reads for you. I just finished a book recently which is called Bounty Hunters, Dig Two Graves by Aukes. This is the sequel to the book Bounty Hunter, which I reviewed on my channel not too long ago. This is the book that's sort of a sci-fi, it's like a dystopian post-apocalyptic book. The first book I had mentioned had a very much Western feel to it, but I noticed that kind of seemed to dissipate a little bit within this one. It seemed more on the sci-fi aspect of it. It had more of a sci-fi feel to it, perhaps because we see a lot more higher weaponry going on, more use of the blasters. There's a super tank kind of thing that comes into play, and more like life below ground where people are living in silos. There was apparently some major wars that took place at the beginning before the series starts, where it kind of decimated the planet and people were forced underground. And some have now started to come up to the surface and are living above ground in small little towns like Clearwater. But a lot of them are kind of still afraid and still living in these silos. And we seem to see a lot of, get a little bit more idea of what life is like kind of below ground in this particular one. But we are still following our main character, Joe Ballast, nicknamed Havoc. He's a bounty hunter, along with his friend Rex, or T-Rex as he's known, and Kit, also known as Turbo. They spend a lot of the first book, the action in that first book, fighting the Sloan brothers, family that are kind of rich and want to expand their wealth by taking over various guilds of bounty hunters and putting them under their control so they can like become the new law in this lawless wasteland that we were following. That storyline kind of continues within this second particular book. The action is just nonstop. It's just so it just pulls you in. Like you just don't want to put the book down as you're reading it. But we also get a lot of character development within this. So you see a lot more from these other side characters, including the sheriff of Clearwater, plays a very important part within this particular storyline. There's as bad as the Sloan brothers were, there are even bigger enemies, I think, on the horizon that we will see coming up. We see a little bit of them within here. There's some ties to the wars that took place in the past, and perhaps these enemies are kind of returning to kind of take over again. So we'll have to see how that goes. But this is the second book in the series. Like I said, I had thought this was going to be a trilogy, but as I got to the end of this, there's a list of several other books on the horizon for this. So apparently it's going to be a bigger expanded series, which I'm super excited for. And in fact, I even saw one of the books coming out is going to be a prequel. So I'm curious to see how far back that will go, if that'll maybe expand on like the wars, a little bit more detail on that, or maybe particularly with Joe and his friend Nick. He ends up looking after Nick's widow and her son during this series as we're following it, and becomes very, very close to them. So maybe it'll expand more on that relationship that he had there, or like I said, I don't know, but I'm really curious to like get a little bit more background on what led to this world becoming as decimated as it is. But the book's just full of rich detail, like I said, with characters, and the world building is just really exciting and lots of action. So thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting the next one. In terms of what I'm currently reading, I was just kind of looking through stuff I had at home and what I kind of had a feel for, and I was talking to one of you about a particular favorite author that we both enjoy, and it made me want to finally pick up this book. I don't know why it's taken me so long to do so, but it's one of Jasper Fford's latest, that is Early Riser. It's sci-fi kind of... his books are really difficult to describe, but I'm just going to go ahead and read the back. It's probably the easiest way to do it. It says, every winter the human population hibernates. During those bitterly cold 4 months, the nation is snow-draped landscape of desolate loneliness devoid of human activity. Well, not quite. Your name is Charlie Worthing, and it's your season, your first season, with the Winter Councils, the committed but mildly unhinged group of misfits who are responsible for ensuring the hibernatory safe passage of the sleeping masses. You are investigating an outbreak of viral dreams which you dismiss as nonsense, nothing more than a quirky artifact born of the sleeping mind. When the dreams start killing people, it's unsettling. When you get the dreams too, it's weird. When they start to come true, you begin to doubt your sanity. But teasing truth from Winter is never easy. You have to avoid the villains and their penchant for murder, kidnapping, and stamp collecting. See what I mean by his books are weird. Ensure you aren't eaten by nightwalkers whose thirst for human flesh can only be satisfied by comfort food, and sidestep the increasingly less than mythical winter Volk. But so long as you remember to wrap up warmly, you'll be fine. So yeah, he's got the quirkiest plot lines. They're very unique. You never know what you're going to get when you pick up a Jasper Fforde book, other than sheer entertainment. So I just started at like 12 pages in. I'd gotten this book as soon as it came out, and this was released 2018. Yeah, seems like it's longer than that, but yeah, it's been sitting on my shelf. So time to finally dive in and pick it up. And I got it. This is the UK hardcover, because I thought it was super ingenious. I love the cover of it. But now I'm regretting it because trying to read a book when you can't quite hold the book properly, it's a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see how that works. It might drive me mad enough that I'll just end up downloading it as an ebook. But anyway, I'm super excited to read that. And then if I feel like a change of something, I'm kind of in the mood for horror as well. And I was watching a YouTube channel called Nightworms. I think they only have the one video, but it was kind of a live event hosted by Dawn Kurtagich, one of my favorite authors. She's a fantastic horror writer, and she was hosting, I think it was like 9 other female horror writers, and one of them was Kat Winters, and I realized I have her book, and it's been sitting on my shelf for years, and I just never got around to picking it up. And when she described it, I'm thinking, wow, how current in a way. I mean, you know, pandemic-wise, it's got that theme to it, but also a horror twist to it. That is In the Shadow of Blackbirds, again by Kat Winters. It takes place during the 1918 pandemic. It just says, in a city filled with the dead and dying, while a nightmarish war rages halfway across the world, the grieving look for answers and photographs and seances. It's 1918, San Diego, and a girl who doesn't believe in spirits steps off a train and into a new life. But it sounds pretty creepy that it's again around the time of the pandemic, and it's full of these kind of creepy black and white photos throughout the book. Particularly that one. Some scenes taking place. So yeah, in case I feel like a little shift between the sci-fi, and I'll shift into horror for a little bit. This has got a beautiful book on the inside. See, look at that. A lot of detail. But yeah, so those are the 2 I'm going to be currently reading. In terms of the audiobook, I'm still listening to the Anthony Trollope book. I was mowing the lawn earlier and just letting it play in my ears. So I'm still into it, but I'm almost feeling I want to move on to something else. But I'm going to keep plugging away until I finish that one. Other than that, yeah, just finally seeing the sun come out. We're just on the cusp of, like, I think 5 almost straight rain days. So I should probably go out there and get some sun. I'm looking a little pale. Maybe I can get my hair to bleach a little bit because I'm not used to it being like this dark anymore. Speaking of which, have any of you guys on Facebook, if you've been playing around with that avatar thing? That was pretty funny. I'll go ahead and put a clip included here of my avatar that I created. Close as I could come up, but let me know if you think it looks like me. Anyway, it was fun to just mess around with it. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying whatever you're doing. Hope you're getting some reading in and just kind of try and shut the outside world out for a while. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.